Alright, so I just want to make this little section about some really cool walls that FNS on Optic was doing during some of the VCT matches. So I'll show what you might usually see out of a Viper and what FNS was doing and why that's better. So a pretty common wall that I believe Zoms created onto Sentinels. I also saw Nats use this. Um, is where, so you're here, goes past the box to mid, it kind of blocks off mid and gives you some cover back here, like all along this area. They have to push through if they want to get map control. You know, it's an okay wall, right? And then your orb is just a lineup to cover inside here, right? So that's still a pretty good setup. Leaves you pretty vulnerable if you're deciding to play here because the wall isn't helping you. The orb sort of is, but the thing about this orb is that it's pretty tough to fight when a jet dashes out and then the team can just run out with them right behind them. You're kind of flustered by this jet, the team's pop flashing through the smoke. It's a little edgy. So what FNS does on B site is he will come over here at the start of the round and line up the wall like this with the B main entrance, shoot his wall like that. And this is really good because enemies are coming either from B main or mid. So when you have this wall up, they're not really gaining a ton of space that they couldn't otherwise easily take. And they're not getting anything super significant here. The benefit too is that this cuts off the plant area. If you look on the mini map, the furthest corner they could plant in was here. But if they want to have a good plant, right, they're going to have to cross your wall. That wasn't necessarily the case for the other one. And FNS throws his orb like this, a little bit further out, and he tends to use the orb before he uses the wall. And this is pretty nice because it provides you, the orb is kind of acting as a safeguard. They either come through the orb, and you probably won't get, gunned down over here. Plus, you can hide in here away from the mid people if you want. So it's just a really strong setup, and I want to show it off because I think it gives defenders a lot of control over the B site, which they otherwise might not have with typical setups. And then on A site, there's a pretty simple setup that a lot of people do, right? So they come over to this wall, line themselves up here, shoot the wall like that, come over here, take the orb, throw the orb. That's not the best lineup at the moment, but right. You got your orb in here. And if they get past that and they're in bricks, you throw your wall up, and then you just play your wall, right? This is decent, but it is kind of unfortunate that you have your poison in basically the same spot. Is your wall getting you that much more value? It's tough to say. What FNS does, though, is he comes over here, takes his wall, shoots it like this through the kind of corners on the A main entrance, right? And his orb, I haven't seen where he's actually thrown it, but I do know right here you can throw that orb. Nice little one-way. So the one-way acts like this. Pretty good cover for mid. And then the wall is the best part here because when you pop it, it's kind of doing what the smoke was doing before. But now what FNS does a lot is he'll hide in here. Enemies will pop flash out, run out. And not many people are going to cover this because to them it's just oh, a wall, not a ton of people, especially at lower ranks, are going to think someone could be here, It's really good, protects you from the dart too. Obviously, you can only do that a few times. Once they start catching on, you may have to play around here, And this is still very safe because you got the one-way blocking you. But yeah, just some really cool setups by Optic. Wanted to show them off, and this is just right off my live stream. Not much editing done here, but if you want to come watch me play time to time, I stream twitch.tv/Sharpie. Hope you enjoyed, and if you are a Viper main, or a controller main, I guess, I hope these setups are pretty valuable for you. I've been using them, finding lots of success with them, same way that FNS does. And last thing I'll note is that this is kind of more older news, but FNS throws his wall like this a lot of the time on attack. It's not flush with the diagonal here. kind of scary when this angle exists, right? But this allows you to get a lot more like control once you have planted. Like a lot of the times people pretend the wall is with this diagonal. People stand here, they'll flash through, they get a lot more ground. And it's better for like just post plant really, and still staying on the site. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.